Positioning your brand enables people to find it, connect with it, and invest in it. It solves the problem of having to constantly market, promote, and push and peddle. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to develop your brand positioning. So the problem that I see with people who don't have strong brand positioning is that they might have the best offering in the world, but no one's finding it. Or if they're finding it, they're not compelled to buy it. The solution is really solid pull, attraction, magnetic branding. So you've probably heard me talk about this before. It's the difference between running around and chasing butterflies and building a butterfly garden that attracts people to you and draws people in and has them say, yes, I want that. So there are 7 steps to compelling positioning. The first is to focus on what is the purpose of this brand? What is the deeper, bigger why for this brand to exist? What is it creating in the world that's going to connect more deeply with the audience? So here's an example of a great brand with a very lofty purpose. Tom's shoes. I use them every single time because almost everybody has heard about how they lead with their purpose. Now, not every brand has to lead with their purpose, but Tom's does. If you go to their website, right up there, front and center, the first thing that you find out about them is that they care about giving shoes to people who need them and can't afford them. They have a whole strategy built around buy one, give one. When you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, they give a pair to someone in need. Now that is going to resonate very deeply with people who align with their brand. And when they first started doing this, this was a game changer. People hadn't heard of anything like this before, at least not on a very broad, big scale. So number one way to position your brand is by having a higher purpose, to have a deeper meaning for the brand, and to use that in your branding, in your marketing and positioning. The second part of positioning is people. Who is the audience that this brand serves? What do they want and need? Think about what is their demographic, their age, their education, their geographic location, and also think about their psychographics. What are they struggling with? What do they think about? What do they value, right? Like getting into their head and understanding who these people really are so that you can speak their language. Different audiences have different languages. If your brand is targeting someone who's a very spiritual person, that's going to look and feel very different from targeting someone who's a very scientific person. And what we've learned, what I've seen over and over and over again, is that when we try to use very broad and general language to meet a lot of different people's needs or to speak to a lot of different people, generally it falls flat with the people that we really, really want to serve. So getting clear about who the people are that you're serving so that you can position the brand for them. The third really important part of positioning is pain points and problem solution. So there are I usually divide pain points into 3 types of pain points. There are the problems that people know they have and are actively looking for a solution for. The second is the problem that they know they have, but they are not talking about. They're not admitting it to people. More of an emotional problem that stems from the original problem. And then the third type of problem that everyone has is generally the problem they don't even know they have, the blind spot. And so when you're positioning your brand, it's important to understand these 3 layers of pain points and problems. The one they know they have and admit, the one they know they have but they don't admit, and the one they don't even know. And as you're putting together your positioning, you might even think about what you're leading with versus what you're revealing more slowly. So generally, I recommend leading with the problem people know they have, admit, and are actively looking for a solution for. And then as you bring them in and start to engage with them, then teaching them or enlightening them on the problem that they don't even know they have. And throughout, using the problems that they're not admitting, the emotional, more deep-rooted problems, as a way to just connect with them more deeply as you share. So I want to give you an example so you understand what I'm talking about a little bit more specifically. Let me start with my purpose. My purpose is to activate superstars to uplift humanity. And what that looks like, superstars are thought leaders, content creators, speakers, authors, people who are an expert in their field and who want to educate and enlighten and inspire others. So my purpose is to activate those people so that they can help to uplift humanity. The people, I already described them to you, are people who have thought leadership, who are content makers and creators and developers. So in my clients, the pain points that they have, number one, the pain point they know and admit is that they're tired and they want to make more money. They're kind of sick of living on an airplane or in a hotel room and selling their time for money. The problem that they don't talk about is they feel like at this point in their career, they should be farther along and they feel like they should have this figured out by now. And then finally, the pain point they don't even realize is that they don't have an ideal business model for the lifestyle that they want to lead. So now that I've taken you through those 3 examples, let's move into number 4. One of the key parts of positioning is pricing. Now, pricing is a signal of value. For example, Mercedes-Benz pricing versus Kia pricing. That's part of their brand. They're both great brands and they produce great products, but the price determines or positions the brand in a certain segment of the market. If you saw a Kia priced at Mercedes-Benz prices, you'd be like, what's going on here? And if you saw a Mercedes-Benz priced at a Kia price, you'd probably snap that up really quick. So another example of pricing as a signal of branding, as a signal of positioning, is Christian Louboutin. Christian Louboutin shoes, if you don't know already, is a brand of shoes that's very high-end and very expensive, like over $1,000 for one pair of shoes. Now, what sets Christian Louboutin apart from other shoes, aside from great design and beautiful Italian leather, is that they have this one unique thing, which is that they have a red sole. The bottom of the shoe is painted this beautiful lacquer red, and no other brand does that. In fact, no other brand can do that because their brand is protected, right? And that unique thing that they have is part of their unique value proposition, and their pricing signals that they are special and unique. They have a high price point. If they had a low price point, they could sell a lot more shoes, but they probably wouldn't be as profitable. The 5th part of positioning your brand is the promotion of it. How are you putting the brand out in the world? What kind of PR are you generating? What kind of marketing are you doing? Now, if you have a thought leadership brand, which is my favorite kind of brand to work with, check out my How to Market Your Thought Leadership with Content Marketing. It's a great video and it'll go deeper into this topic. The 6th item of positioning is placement. Placement is, where is your brand going to live? Where will it hang out? Where are your people living and hanging out? Both online and in person, placement is fundamental. If your brand isn't anywhere that your people are, then you're never going to get found. So it might be thinking, for example, if you have a brand for golfers, then obviously you're going to find them hanging out at a golf course. If you have a brand that's for teachers, then you'll find them in schools. If you have a brand for young millennials, you'll probably not find them on Facebook, but you might find them in TikTok, right? So both in person and online, you want to think about, where are your people already gathering and can you meet them there? The last piece of positioning is pulling all of this together into a positioning statement. Now, I have several videos on how to do a positioning statement, so I'm not going to go into it deeply here. But just know that your positioning statement is what tells people who you serve, what you do for them, why you do it, and anything else that's really important and relevant to your brand. The next step, if you want to even go further with this, I've created something free and very special for you. It's called the Monetize Your Magic Playbook, and it'll walk you through a process so that you can turn your brand into income with grace and ease. Enjoy.